Hello scrapbooking friends, and thank you for joining me for another video. Today is my update video and it is for October, November and December. So yeah, I'm really sorry that I've not been here since the end of September, apart from a few layouts at the beginning of October. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Life kind of got in the way and I just wasn't able to get on here. I have been doing scrapbooking, I just haven't been able to record them, and it just wasn't possible for me to come on and do my update video. So yeah, really sorry. I'm here now and we're going to do 3 months worth. So thank you if you're here for sticking with me and for returning. I really do appreciate that. So like I say, I have been doing scrapbooking, I just haven't been recording the process, apart from I think the first 3 may be on my channel. The first 3 here might be on my channel. And also, because I'm filming this a little bit later in the morning, the sun's coming in, so I've sort of moved around slightly, so it's a little bit awkward, just to try not to get the sun on the pages as I'm showing them to you. So we'll start off by going through all the layouts. Layouts, as usual, involve things like doggies and donkeys and music. There are some Christmas ones and there are some surprises in there, so we'll get to those in a minute. But as well as recovering from my cataract surgery, we also have now got 2 more puppies. So we have rescued 2 puppies, brother and sister, very young, 7 months old now, or 7.5 months old now. So yeah, we are now a 4-dog family, which I would never have expected, and it's been kind of crazy here. So yeah, that's another reason why I've not been around. But let's start with the layouts and then we can get on to everything else. Okay, so this is another layout for the Light the South Trail that was in Southampton and the Isle of Wight over the summer period. If you follow me, you would have already seen the several layouts relating to this. So this one was documenting the island sculptures, so the large sculptures that were here on the Isle of Wight, and there were 5 altogether. So I've got 2 photos here within a frame, and I've got 3 smaller photos here, and basically I just cut the photos to size to try and fit them on the page, especially these ones here. They're not any set size. I've just cut them as small as I can to fit them onto the page, because I really wanted to use this Simple Stories Vintage Seas paper, because you know, when are you ever going to use a scrapbook paper that's got a giant whale on it, unless you go whale watching or something. So yeah, I really wanted to use this busy pattern paper. So puffy title here, lots of die cut pieces, all from that collection, Vintage Seas, die cut pieces, chipboard, layered sticker, foam sticker. I've used some I've splattered some ink on this page as well, and I'm really pleased to have used one of those frames because they can sometimes be tricky to use. So yeah, busy layout. And I was just saying here that it was amazing that the trail included the Isle of Wight, and I've used gesso here, and I just to whitewash the pattern paper slightly so that I could do my journaling and it would be easy to read. So that's number 1. And then we've got this one, which is documenting my visit to the theatre to hear Colin Sutton speak. So he's a former Metropolitan Police officer, and he's quite well known in the UK because he appears on quite a few programmes about, you know, real crime programmes talking about crimes that he's solved, and he's also responsible for solving at least 2 very high profile cases in this country. And I mentioned that in the video, I think. For this, and I don't know which pattern paper this is, but it's got the ladybirds on the back. But it's kind of like it's not journaling, is it? I'm not really sure how you describe it, but I like all these sections for my writing and stamping and what have you. So I've used the Simple Stories Colour Vibe Foam Alpha there. I've stamped here. I've stamped all these words that I thought related to crime. And then I've the Real Manhunter Live Tour 1, because there is another tour coming up which I am booked on, and then he signed my flyer for me. And then this Project Life card, I think I might have mentioned it in the video, I've had it in my stash for so long, never really knowing how I would use it, and it's absolutely perfect for this layout, so I was really happy to use that on this layout. Bramble Fox piece and a little typewriter flare that just says "You're just my type." but you know, I'm using it because it's perfect for like typing up, you know, crime reports and things, isn't it? And I've had it in my stash for a long time. I'm not sure whether it's from a deconstructed layout. Stamp in here, little open book and a newsprint stamp. More stamping here. I stamped the camera there, and I'm just saying that it's a thrill to hear him speak, and he took time for a photo. And I sent him a message later on thanking him for coming to the island, and he said he liked my bag, which is not in the photo because it's over here in real life at the time, and it was an Elvis bag. And I never said I was an Elvis fan. He obviously just noticed the Elvis bag that I had, so I was very excited about that. Looking forward to seeing his next show in the spring here on the island again. So this one is the Lighthouse Trail again, and this is my top 10. So chipboard piece, die cuts, oh no, that's layered. That's a die cut that I've layered on foam pads. That's a foam sticker. It's all from that same collection that I've used here, and I've added some baker's twine, and I've layered the die cuts here and added a bit of foam. Some of the what do you call those? Are they like faux brads? I think they're faux brads, and some here as well. So all I've done really is done a grid layout with all the lighthouses, my top 10 lighthouses, and I've stamped the name of each one. I may have shortened some of them because some of them are quite long names, but the general gist of the name of each lighthouse. And then I've just drawn some lines here, and I've added my journaling, which says my top 10 Light of the South lighthouse sculptures, excluding my fave Isle of Wight and Southampton sculptures. So these are my top 10. It's kind of top 12 really, isn't it? Because these are my top 10 after my top 2. And my top 2, one was on the island and one was in Southampton. So yeah, that's very confusing. And I'm pretty sure there's videos for all those 3, but no videos following that. There's no videos for these ones. So this is Elvis. This pattern paper came from Schmel Reason to Smile, I believe, from the paper pad. Yes, from the paper pad, because I've torn it off. And when I tear it out of the paper pad, I quite like to leave it, you know, a little bit, the bits. I don't like to trim it to make it straight. I just like it. I like it the way it is, like just rustic looking. I've added the date here. A foam title here, a wood heart, some more hearts here. So I've inked that slightly, that's like a glitter acrylic type heart. And then I've put silver on this one because Elvis does have some silver colouring to him. I've used a burlap piece here on the back. The photos are laid onto torn tracing paper, a little bit of stamping, and then I've added a scrap here with the cameras, and I've added a horseshoe for each camera there, and then a bit more stamping here. And I've just said that Elvis was inside. I hoof picked him and led him back to his friends. And I mentioned this in the Traveller's Notebook, but I actually did a layout as well. This one is about the Olympics. So my lovely friend Moira is very good at documenting sporting events and the Olympics and things. And it's not something I really do. I'm not hugely into sport, but I do watch the occasional thing that involves like the GB team, or you know, like the Olympics, or a very sort of like high profile football game or something like that. But generally I'm not into sport, but I thought I'd document this because Bryony here is a trampolinist, and that's what I used to do when I was a child. So I did a lot of trampoline and very small amount of competing, and I never carried it on into adulthood. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why it is the reason why I chose to document her in my documenting of the Olympics. So this is, pretty sure this is Simple Stories pattern paper, but I chose this side with all the circles because I thought it was quite appropriate for like medals and things like that, and the Olympic rings and what have you. So I've got some buttons here, I've got some punched out stars, I've got a little cupcake topper here that I've had for years, acrylic piece here from Bramble Fox, I think, taken from another layout, one of my House of Scrap layouts, an arrow that I've added some gold to. I've added gold to this wood circle, and then I've added this gold star, wood star on the top. I've got 3 Union flag buttons here, 2 small photos of Bryony, and then the total for Team GB at the Olympics. And she was chosen to take part in the closing ceremony, so that's that photo, and this is her photo with all her medals from the previous Olympics as well. And then I've just said, I've used a bit of stamping here from a sort of a trampolining or sporting themed stamp set that I've got. And I just said, Bryony won gold to add to her silver and bronze medals. Such an inspiration, takes me back to my trampolining days. There's like a mini trampoline, a rebounder here, and I've been desperate to use that stamp. I've had it for years in a stamp set. I've been desperate to use it, finally got to use it. So here I am documenting the show Anything Goes that was here on the Isle of Wight. And this chap who was in the show played Joseph in the summer season of Joseph that I've already documented many times, and I think I may be documenting it in here as well. So this was the next show, or another show that he was in, and I went to see it twice. I had booked another show, but I wasn't able to make the final show. But yeah, I went to see it on my own, and I took Mum to see it as well. So this is the flyer from the show. This is just a pattern paper from a paper pad that I got from, it's not like it's not a big name brand, it's just like a local brand, or a brand in one of the shops here on the island, like the Range of the Works. Washi tape, a foam sticker, a chipboard sticker. I've got foam and chipboard stickers across the page from that same Simple Stories collection. This is, I think everything on here is from that collection. So just another way of using that collection, because, you know, I bought it because I really loved it and didn't really have a way to use it until, you know, the Lighthouse Trail came along, and now this show. And then these two photos were taken on different days, and I've just said here, just my review of the show here, really. So that's that one. And then I have got a double page layout for Joseph. Can you see it all? Sorry about the light on that side, but I've done a double pager. And as I always say, my double pages are not mirror images or anything, or, you know, they're not designed from left to right or anything like that. I just do what I like to do, what I like to look at, and this is what I've done here. So I've got a stripy paper and a star paper. I'm not sure which manufacturers they are. I'm sorry about that. So I've got the flyer here for the show, and I've added some glitter alphas here in different places. So the year, Dreamer, Nathan and Sean. So Sean played the Pharaoh in the show, and then I've added at the end of the show, or during the show, they sort of, some confetti came out into the auditorium. I grabbed some of it to stick on my layout. Got some little glitter domes here. I've got punched out star, and then a star die cut, a Bramble Fox star, punched out stars, washi tape, a badge, pin badge. Joseph pin badges from my collection, not scrapbooking supplies. And then I've got a photo of some friends that went to see it when they were, well, two of them live on the island and the other one was visiting, so they went to see it the same night as me. I met up with them, and then there's just photos of me, you know, ready to go to the show, and then stage door photos. So very, very busy. This is all my tickets for the show, because it was 4 shows over the summer, so every Tuesday, and I went to all 4. The first one here, because these will probably fade, and I know they'll fade, I tried to sort of like seal them with like my glitter spray and sparkle, but it didn't really work, and you couldn't, and it kind of faded it a little bit straight away, so I didn't bother doing that again. And I just thought, well, they're going to fade, but you know, it's fine. I'll still put them on there. And then I used a bit of gesso here to whitewash the pattern like I normally do, or I usually do quite often. And I've just said, another amazing Summer of Dreams, this time over at Shanklin Theatre. So it's amazing to have Joseph on the island. And this guy, oh my gosh, he is amazing. Absolutely amazing performer. And he will no doubt be in the West End very soon. He's from the island. He's finished his studies now. So yeah, he's done a lot of amateur dramatics on the island. So this is the start of the puppies. The 2 puppies, Eddie and Holly. I think this is Vicky Beaton pattern paper, but I'm not 100% sure, but it looks as though it would be a Vicky Beaton pattern paper. And ordinarily I would have used it this way, almost certainly would have used it this way, but for some reason it fitted better that way. I don't like a top heavy layout, but because I think I wanted to fit all this on the stripy section, or it looked better on the stripy section, that's why I've done it this way. But the top heavy does still bother me, but I like the layout. So 2 4x4 photos of me and the doggies over at the Elvis plaque here on the island. I've got, this splatter is pre-printed on the page, some glitter domes here. I've stamped Elvis, the wood piece that says live that I've inked in green, some baker's twine, and a little tassel here. I've made a tag from pattern paper from the Schmel collection, another glitter dome. I've just stamped onto a scrap piece of textured cardstock here, and this is from Schmel, Reason to Smile Again. stamped a crown for Elvis and some paws for the doggies. And I've said, of course, we had to take Eddie and Holly to Reelstone to see the Elvis plaque. Still not moved. They've still not moved it. And I've contacted them again. And they've said that it's all been approved and everything, and it just needs to be moved. But we've not been back since then, so we need to go back and see if they've done it. But I've got a feeling they won't have done it. But, you know, if you follow me, you'll know all about the Elvis plaque. So that's that one. And then we've got another Joseph layout, double page. So this was my reviews, really. So the other one was, you know, the show and the stage door, and this is my reviews, because every week after I'd seen the show I did a review on social media and tagged them in it and everything. So I've got 2 flyers again, another double page, again not mirrored or anything, but I have put, you know, the flyer one on each side here, and that needs sticking down because it's moved. I thought I'd glued them down, but maybe I hadn't. And I think I wanted to call it The Reviews Are In, but I didn't have like the alphas to do that, so I just called it Reviewed in the end. And yeah, I thought I'd stuck those down, but obviously I haven't, so I will do that. So this is a text paper, probably Vicky Booten. This is a pie sort of print, and that is Vicky Booten as well, I'm sure. Or is it Chanel? Is it from that Chanel paper pad? Do you know what? I think it might be. Let me check. No, I think it is Vicky Booten. Right. 2 photos of me with Nathan at the stage door, and again, well, I've got the same photos, but one's bigger here. I think they're maybe slightly different. Then I've made a tag again using my template that I used on the previous layout, and I've done the journaling on this rainbow print paper with a glitter dome. I've got a tassel here from my stash, and these are my reviews here. And then I've just said that Nathan's been an incredible Joseph. I've never heard a part sang like that before. Such a wonderful, strong vocalist with an amazing depth. I shall look forward to following his career, which I shall. This is Holly. We had a tiny little fluttering of snow here on the island one day. You know, very, very small fluttering. It didn't settle or anything. But I did manage to capture a photo with a little bit of snow on her head. So, you know, that was fair game for a snow layout as far as I'm concerned. The white texture cardstock. I've used my Tim Holtz stencil here with white texture paste. The Holly stencil. This is a Holly embellishment I've had for years. And then I've just added the photo onto some torn tracing paper here, and I've just said Holly's first snow, just a few flakes on the island. 3 of those Christmas themed buttons here, and a Let It Snow wood piece that I've had for years. I think I've added texture paste or gesso to that to whiten it. Bit of washi tape here, and just the date. And then we've got another doggy one, and as I was going through my layouts today to show you, I realised that I hadn't photographed 2 of them. And I'm like, how could I not have done that? I always do that. And I make a note on my diary when I create the layout as well. I hadn't done that either. So it just goes to show how crazy things have been. I have been finding a little bit of time for crafting, but not much else. Just, you know, getting through really. So this is brown texture cardstock with layered, with white texture cardstock layered onto it, like a framed layout. I've got all these paw, and paw embellishments. So wood, a Chadney piece that Moira sent me, wood paw, a small embellishment there. This is a rubber one. Don't know if that's moved. I don't think it has. And then 2 4x4 photos of the doggies that I've layered onto torn tracing paper. I've stamped some paws, and I've just said the waiting and the lunch queue. So that's all them waiting at the gate for the lunch, and you can just see my husband's feet there because he's preparing their lunch. And then we've got this one, which is another doggy layout. And this is, I think, again from that Chanel paper pad. This is from the Chanel again, and this, I believe. So I've added a bit of stamping to the page, snuggle time, some they're bramble fox bone pieces, and a very old sort of dress it up kind of embellishment there. And I've done a little bit of stapling, and I've just said that they've really settled down into our family. Keeping them together as siblings is a joy. They love to play together and snuggle up together. So yeah, they are, I don't know if I said that already, they are brother and sister, which is one of the reasons why we took them, because they didn't want to separate them. And then there's another one here. This is Vicky Booten Discover and Create Day in the Park. I've obviously saved that, and I've mounted that onto green texture cardstock. I've added some ink splatters, a piece of 6x8 pattern paper from the Chanel, Reason to Smile, Bramble Fox, cut out 2 pieces from the Chanel paper pad, a tag here that I've inked the edges, and some twine, And I've just said that they're obsessed with picking up stones, leaves and plants. They are cheeky and mischievous, and they are, yeah, they're still obsessed with picking things up. That's that one. And then we've got this one, which is a play one. So it's got this gingham pattern here. I'm not sure whether you call it buffalo plaid in other parts of the world, but we call it gingham. Glitter domes. I think it was a piece of pattern paper, it wasn't from a pad. Pink tag that I've doodled around the edge. Simple Stories colour vibe foam alpha. 2 photos of the doggies mounted onto white texture cardstock, and then just a white texture cardstock here for the journaling. I've just said that they love their toys. Tugger toys are their favourite. They really, yeah, they just love toys, which is good because, you know, they're puppies. And then this one I've already put in a frame. It's Christmas layout, and it's all the doggies with one of my first Christmas photos that I took of them. And I have very little Christmas stash. I've had no new Christmas stash apart from a couple of things that I'm going to show you in a minute. No new pattern paper, and I think I've only got 2 sheets of pattern paper, one of which I really don't like, and the other one is a really nice one that I want to save to use for a layout. So yeah, I have got no Christmas pattern paper at all apart from those. So I've been using my stamps. I have been working on my Christmas album, and I've been using my stamps. So here I just stamped a Christmas tree all over the page, and I found these glitter trees in my Christmas stash from years ago, which I've added to the page. And then I've got this 4x4 piece here that says Christmas is better when we are together. Photo of the doggies layered on tracing paper with a torn edge, and I've just said I'm talking about the new festive throw that I purchased. So I did purchase it for my Christmas tree project that I was working on, but in the end I didn't want to use it for that. It didn't look right, so I've kept it for myself and using it at home, and the doggies like it. So that is all my layouts. I think there's 15 layouts there. That includes 2 double pages, doesn't it? So yeah, that took quite a long time to get through that. I'll just move these and we'll move on. So this is my Donkey Traveller's notebook, and before I move on with this, I just need to say that Elvis and CJ, my 2 best boys at the Donkey Sanctuary, have both passed away. So yeah, that it is a little bit upsetting, but it is featured in the notebook, so I just need to tell you that before we get to that section. Yeah. Very, very upsetting, and it has affected me, and I'm sorry to have to I'm sorry that I'm saying that to you now, you know, just before Christmas and everything, but it is in here, so I do need to warn you about that. This was where we finished off last time with them 2 grooming each other, Elvis and CJ, and then my colleague at the Donkey Sanctuary sent, because I was not there because of my eye surgery, so she sent me this photo and she said handsome CJ being handsome. These 2 little photos. So I've used that Chamel 6x8 pad again with the torn edges here, and I've just said that they're keeping me updated whilst I'm recovering. So that's just a simple page with the first photos of CJ. And then the same lady sent me a photo of Elvis with India Donkey, and yeah, just saying that they were, eating from the same bowl, and they had to keep getting them to eat from the separate bowls, and he had a cut that they wouldn't let him look at and things like that. So she's just keeping me updated on him being mischievous. I've just stamped Elvis and India here, and I'm not sure what happened here. I think I might have made a mistake. Added a bit of gesso to re-stamp it, and I've not re-stamped it, so I will need to do that. Just a tag there and some baker's twine. So then we move on to the upsetting part, which is CJ passing away. The same paper 6x8 pad from Chamel. 2 photos of CJ here, and then that Simple Stories colour vibe foam alpha that I've used here to say best boy, CJ and a heart, and then some wood hearts and camera paper and wood heart here. And I've added gesso to this pattern paper to whitewash it like I normally do. And I've just said that the time came for me to say my goodbyes to CJ. He was tired and ready to leave this earth for that better place. Heartbroken. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, just a beautiful tribute to CJ, and I have got layout planned as well to talk about that, to a final layout of him. And so this was, I was off for 2 weeks, and then I went in just to see CJ. I was still away for my eyes, but I went in to see him. And then my colleague sent me this captured from the CCTV of Elvis lying down in one of the shelters. and it was just that him caught on live camera settling down for nighttime snooze, and a foam heart here and some stamping hearts, and I think that's a moon that I've stamped there maybe from a planner stamp set. Yeah, and then this is Elvis. This is Elvis's fair. Pattern paper again, it's got a torn edge to it, and there's just some photos of me with Elvis saying my goodbyes to him. And then I've got the journaling here that just, you know, I had to say goodbye to him. He was tired and ready to leave the earth. I knew he wasn't well, but it's still hard, you know. And anyway, I gave him ginger nuts, and yeah, said my goodbyes. And this is my, similar to the CJ, this is my sort of page that telling the story of that. So, sorry. Okay, so now we move on to the Red Funnel Awards. So I was asked by the Donkey Sanctuary to represent them at the Red Funnel Awards, which is quite a prestigious event here on the island, recognising the industry or recognising businesses on the island. And the Donkey Sanctuary won a bronze and a silver, and I was there with a colleague to collect those awards, which was a very nice evening. I can hear Buddy barking. And I've just come to flip through this before I came on here, and I've realised that I've added the rest of the Red Funnel event things here, right? So I think these pages are like stuck together, and I didn't realise. So I've got all these gaps in here, and then I've got this at the end, which is the same evening, and the menu and everything, because the menu is quite good for me with having gluten-free. They catered for me, and yeah. So what I might do is cut this out and stick it. I might just move these further into the book, because we've come to the end here now. So anyway, I was just saying that there was a lady there who was one of the judges who I recognised from the show Anything Goes. She was in the show Anything Goes, so I chatted to her about it. And I've got the Simple Stories pattern paper here with a doily and some purple tags. And I've got in my tag drawer here, the one that are pre-cut. I've only got a few in there now. They're all colours that I don't really use, and I just thought, oh, this is perfect for the colour for this event. The theme was the night sky, and as much as I like this colour, I just don't use it very often for anything, so it's nice to use a couple of tags there. So that's come to the end of there. As I've said, yeah, I need to move this further in, and then there's a bit more space at the end. I haven't started a new traveller's notebook for the donkeys. Not been there a lot with having had my eye surgery, and I think I mentioned in the previous update video that I was thinking of just doing one traveller's notebook in future, because a lot of what I do there is the same. And since Elvis and CJ passed away, you know, it's a little bit of a struggle for me to think about doing this. I will do it, but like I said already, I'll be doing it probably in my general one and not a separate one. But as I've now got this space at the end, when I move this further along, I will probably add some more things to the end of that before it's finished. So that's that one done. And then we've got the new random or general traveller's notebook here. I was just saying I could hear Buddy barking, but it wasn't Buddy, it's one of the puppies, because Buddy's up here with me. And he's just got out of his basket because he heard them, and now he's wanting to go downstairs, so I might have to go and see what's going on down there. So this is the new one, I said already, this was already in here. And then, yeah, so this is kind of just general. This is that Chamel paper again with a torn edge, a very old glitter foam alpha here that I managed to get another title out of, and a little bit of scrap journaling die cut piece here, or cut down. This is a donkey at a different donkey sanctuary here in the UK, and they've got a donkey that looks just like Elvis, and I've adopted him before, and I've sort of readopted him. He's called Silver, and I've just said that he looks like Elvis, and I've readopted him. Then I've stuck that flyer for the Cavern Beetles show in here, like I said I might do, and I wasn't able to go to that because of my surgery. So this is me after my surgery, or this was me before the surgery. I took a quick selfie in the hospital. This is some of that gauze, you know, that they give you. And then this is me at home, I think, with the shield on. 2 Project Life cards here, and I've just a bit of stamping, and I've just said second cataract surgery done, now for the long recovery. I plan on sewing, reading, scrapbooking and watching Netflix and movies. I shall have to miss the Cavern Beetles at Shankly, which I did have to do, and I also had to miss the 2 Grease shows as well, partly for that reason, partly for other reasons. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing. So then we move on, and I've just marking or just noting here the different shows that I booked to see. So the second show for Colin Sutton, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Sweeney Todd, which I've seen, and this is for next year, and this I've seen recently. Let me just see what Buddy's doing. Okay, he's back in his basket now. So that's yeah, just all the things that I've booked. I've booked some more things, I'm sure, that are not in here. I booked an extra Joseph show for the tour next year, which I only did recently. So the sun's coming round, isn't it? It's following me round here. So we can move that over. I don't think it's too bad. So then I've just made, this was just a day, I called it the grand day out. I'm actually doing a layout for this, but it seems a very long time ago now. But I am planning on doing a layout for it. There was a day when they were switching the electricity off at home for the whole day. They gave you like advance notice. And so this was before we got the puppies. It was 10th of October. And I'd got my eye shield on and everything. So we just kind of went out. I'm getting myself mixed up here. I think this is two different things that I'm talking about here. So I've saying that my husband took the dogs to the groomers, and Buddy had like a stitch in his mouth still from when he'd had his dental a few weeks before. So he went to the vet for that. But when he went to the vet, it just for whatever reason, it had gone, even though it'd been there all that time. And then Chester had got paw infection, and then we had to get a boot for him. And then I'm saying we had a nice lunch at the pub. We stayed out because the electric was off. And then we had a drink at another pub. And then there was another pub we wanted to go to that we couldn't get into because it looked as though it was closed. So yeah, I'm getting myself confused. But I think it might have been all the same day because I've just put the same date here. But I just don't recall my husband taking the dogs to the groomers. Yeah, I think it's the same day. It just happened to be that day that the electric was off and we stayed out afterwards. So this is documenting the puppies. So this is just some cut down pattern papers with torn edges and what have you, and some die cuts, doggy themed die cuts. And this is a picture of the two doggies before they came to us. And I've added like the faux brads and the little domes, or can't think what you call them. They're not puffy. They're just like gems. And then some little doggy ones here. Die cuts, doggy themed die cuts, foam sticker. And I've just said that we were contacted about 2 cavaliers that needed a home, and we said yes, they're joining our family on the 20th of October. So when I did this was on the, well, I think I did it on the 19th. I think I wrote this before they actually joined the family. They joined the family the next day. So yeah. And I thought I might do some writing here, but I'd actually quite like it as is, so I'm not going to. I'm to leave that as is. And then that's as far as I've got. So I've got a photo of Mum and I at the theatre. This is a show that I booked for next year. Still got a flyer for that show. This is a drawing that someone did for us. This is some. This is Greece that I couldn't go to. I couldn't go to this. Still got Anything Goes there. And Sweeney Todd, a few flyers for the show that I went to. So that's as far as I've got, because things have been a little bit crazy here, and I haven't done anything in here since October. And I usually do a lot more than that. I usually do it, I always work in my traveller's notebook even if I'm not doing layouts, but yeah, just haven't had the time. So Buddy's been poorly. I was working on that Christmas tree project for the Donkey Sanctuary, which is all finished now. It was in December. It was a local Christmas tree festival that I was displaying a tree for, but I took a lot of it was a lot of work to do it, and I spent a lot of hours creating the decorations. That's going to feature in my Christmas album and possibly in layouts as well, but I haven't done them yet. Of course, we've had the puppies who came to us with no training whatsoever, even though they were 6 months old. So we had all that. We've been training the puppies and getting them used to being with our family and everything. We've had some work stuff to deal with, some complicated work stuff to deal with, which sometimes doesn't make you feel like, you know, being creative. And then of course Buddy's been poorly, so last weekend I had to take him to the emergency vet at night time, and he had to stay in. He's still not quite right. You may have just heard him sneezing actually on the video. He's still not quite right, and he has got a checkup tomorrow. So I'm hoping he's got to have some treatment tomorrow in his ear. So I'm hoping that we'll be, you know, onwards and upwards after that, because it's been about it's been poorly for about a month. Yeah, sneezing and ear infections and things. So yeah, that's been really difficult to to deal with, and with the puppies not being trained and everything, I've had to spend a lot of time sitting with the doggies, Buddy because he's poorly, and keep an eye on the puppies, right, so other things can be done, like so my husband can work, and or you know, vice versa, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been very tricky few months and that's the explanation for why I've not been on here. I did have a cold myself, which wasn't too bad, but that did set me back a little bit, a few days, you know, when you get a head cold or something. I mean, it didn't escalate into anything bad, but it did set me back a few days. I have been reading books, and I'm doing jigsaws, and of course I've done all those layouts, haven't I? I've been working on the layouts even though I haven't been recording them. I'm definitely not prepared for Christmas. This video might go up before Christmas. Yeah, I think it will. I haven't done any baking that I like to do. I have not even finished my cards and my letters. I've not done any wrapping, and it's the 23rd. No, what day is it today? 22nd of December today. So I think it's going to be one of those years where you just have to let some things go and accept the fact that you can't do everything. My mum was here for a little while when we first got the puppies, and then my parents were here for the tree festival. So I've had family visiting. I have been to the theatre a few times, but not much, just a few. Well, I did. I went to see did I see Anything Goes after the last time I spoke to you? And then I also saw the Sweeney Todd show, and I also saw the West Side Story show. So yeah, I have been to the theatre a few times here on the island, not on the mainland at all. So yeah, that's the update. Now then, I'll give you a sneaky peek of my Christmas album. I need to tell you what I've spent money on first. Nothing much. Can I turn this camera around? I'm not sure. Glue. I'm still using the other glue, but it's nearly empty. These Santa hat stickers that felt, they're like felt stickers that I just really liked them when I was in the range one day. And that is I think it is a range, but yeah, it is the range brand. And then I got some more of these, which I've had before over the years, and used them. I really like them, and I just saw them and I just picked those up because I wanted some more. I really liked them. I've been using them in my album. I bought this 8x8 burlap paper that I really liked. I've used that. You saw that in the Elvis layout earlier. And then I bought an album for my Christmas album, which I bought from a stationery shop, not a scrapbooking shop. I just got an A5 lever arch file. So quite deep, you know, like some of the scrapbooking albums are. 6x8 scrapbooking albums, quite deep, aren't they? 3 inches, so lots of space. 3 inches, lots of space of scrapping, and it was very, very inexpensive. I didn't want to spend £30 on an album, and I'm not sure how. I remember Stephanie saying to me about getting page protectors from a stationery store. Can't think of the name now, but there isn't one here on the island, and I looked online and I couldn't get them, and I ordered them online. So I've got the A5 lever arch office type file. Not sure if it's, you know, acid free and all that, but I'm not too worried about that. I've got that. I think it said the page protectors were. It's not on here, but I think when I ordered them it did say something about that. And I think this was a pack of like 100, and you can see how many are in there, and I've got lots used already. This album, I've been working on it all month, and it's completely up to date to now. So everything that needs to go in the album up till now is in there already and finished. It's all finished. So I will do a flip through that at some point. But then I've still got quite a few page protectors in there that have not got anything in them. So as you can see, there's lots of room to add more things to it. I didn't buy any new stash items apart from the ones I've just shown you. I've been using my stash. I've been stamping. I've been using anything that's already in my stash. Quite pleased with myself. For the cover, I just came up with the idea. I think I've got glue on this and kind of wiped the glue off, and you can see where I did that, but never mind. Wood circles, I've added gesso, and I've just glued some gems, a sequin, and I've drawn the phase and added one of those Santa hat stickers that I recently purchased. So that's my album. I do follow Chamel's Journal Your Christmas. I do post on the forum and everything, so if you're part of that, you may have seen some of my pages already. I sort of do my own thing, but if my own thing fits in with a prompt, then I will post it on the forum. It's not usually the same day as what Chamel's prompt is, but that doesn't matter. You know, it could be things like related to like the tree, or writing cards and general things that you do at Christmas, but maybe on the different date to the prompt. But I do like to pop those on the forum here and there. So that's a Christmas album. I don't film the process because I don't think it'd be interesting to anybody. I just do it when I get a moment. I faff about quite a lot, change my mind quite a lot. And yeah, it's just, yeah, I just don't, it's the sort of thing I just like to come and do when I get time, and I don't always have the time to set up for filming and what have you. And to be honest, sometimes I just do want to craft, which is what I normally do with this and my traveller's notebooks. So Christmas album all ready to go for now. Nothing exciting's happening in the next day or two, I don't think, so there may not be anything in there. I'm not doing it every day. I'm doing the month of December, but I'm just putting things in that are interesting, or nice photos, that kind of thing, or things that I do that Christmas related. I'm not doing like a daily album. It's not daily, it's just December, festive December, that's what it is. Possibly going into January, depending on what happens. So yeah, that's everything. So thank you for joining me. Sorry once again that I've not been here for, like, you know, 2 months or 3 months. And I can't make any promises for the future either, but I will always come back on and give you updates and do crafting on when I can record it. But it's not, you know, I can't, it's not going to be like consistent, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting my channel. Stay safe, take care, and have a wonderful festive season, however you celebrate, whatever your thing is. I hope you have an amazing season, and I hope you have peace and joy in your heart, and I shall see you on the other side. Take care, stay safe, I'll see you next time.